Michael Jordan, Obama, Microsoft, Amazon, Enzo Ferrari. There's a common thread through each of those, which I want to talk about for the next few minutes. Let's start with Michael Jordan. Back in 1992, Michael Jordan did an ad for Gatorade. There he is leaping through the air, dunking a ball, defying gravity. And then a Gatorade bottle appears on screen. And the whole premise is quite obvious. Hey, drink Gatorade and be like Mike. Be like Mike became a meme. It became a thing. It's still a saying to this day. In business and in life, we're constantly trying to be like Mike. We compare ourselves to other people and other organizations. We compare ourselves to the Joneses, the neighbors. In business, we compare to the performance of one company over another. We compare our efficiency to other companies through official benchmarking statistics. We're always comparing, but we're comparing to external things. The problem with these external things is it's apples and oranges. Do they have different time horizons? Do they have different customers? Do they have different history? Do they have different skill sets? Do they have different exit strategies? You don't know any of that stuff. And yet, you and I, we compare ourselves to these things, these places, these people, these things. So let's break this down. You're not only comparing to something external that's different, but the attainment of that benchmark is also often outside of your own control. For example, an Olympic sprinter, in the middle of the race, they pull a hamstring, nothing they can do about it. Or an Olympic archer, they've got the last shot before they're going to, if they get the bullseye, they win the gold medal. As the arrow releases, all of a sudden there's a little puff of wind and it takes this thing off course just by a little bit, just enough to miss the bullseye and you miss the gold medal. Now, where does the satisfaction come from that? You obviously be distraught, but if you did the best you could, then there's an element of tranquility that comes from that. Did I put all of my resources to work to attain that goal? So let's have a look at Obama. Obama is a fantastic orator. Forgetting your political persuasions, the guy can speak. Now, I love speaking at conferences and I do it as much as I can, but he commands $1 million, if not more, for a talk, and I might get a couple of grand. Why the difference? Well, yes, he's a better speaker than me, but also he's got history. He's one of the 4 surviving ex-presidents of the United States. I cannot have that history. I cannot command that fee just through history alone, forgetting skill. So to compare myself to Obama is ridiculous, but I can pluck the little bits out that I like. Oh, I like the way he delivered that. He stayed calm and he had poise under this questioning. I always admired the way any politician, basically, not only Obama, can stay calm under a barrage of questions. They seem to be able to turn the conversation how they want to. I look at that and I study it and I try to do that. So I use these external forces or external benchmarks as a way to pick little bits and then try to do that little thing as best as I can. That's where I can improve and that's where I can get better. But I can't compare myself to that benchmark of his payment. Look at companies like Microsoft and Amazon. Microsoft only paid its first dividend in 2019 after decades in existence. Amazon they have never paid a dividend and they don't look like paying a dividend. Tesla, same story, no dividend. So if you're looking at dividend returns, these companies are not the ones that you want to compare yourself against because they've gone really, really, really long term. Their whole strategy is completely different to other people's. Have a look at Enzo Ferrari when he started his car business. He started the car business to fund his motor racing. It was his accountants actually put the pressure on him and said, look, you're going broke here. You need to maybe sell these cars retail, make some money so you can keep the car racing going. And that's what he did. He actually did it reluctantly, but then it became a business of its own. Now I'm going to read out their mission statement because it's still, despite the fact that he passed away 2 decades ago, it's still in the DNA of Ferrari. And I'll read this out. We build cars, symbols of Italian excellence the world over, and we do so to win both road and track, win on both road and track. It's still in their DNA, and they actually call it Ferrari DNA. This is the point. Companies have their own DNA. They are right out there and say, this is our DNA. Your company's got DNA, my company's got DNA, I've got DNA. We're all completely unique. So why are we comparing in benchmarks? What I do in my business is look at those benchmarks from customer service, from sales. How are we tracking over time? That's what my mystery shopping business is about. That's my DNA. It's raising awareness about the truth. I'm getting clearer and clearer about that. And I don't look at what my competitors are doing anymore. It's not relevant to me. I don't look at what the industry is doing. We'll set our sail for our course, picking out again the best bits and doing that. So two things close to my core come to play here. One, it's this DNA, this message of purpose, and that we've all got our own purpose and our own paths, so why compare the benchmarks? And secondly, measurement, this internal measurement of our performance over time, close to my heart in terms of my mystery shopping business. So be like Mike, but don't be Mike. Meaning, be like Mike in certain ways that you want to be, but don't try to be him. Do you. I'm Stephen DiPietro. Thanks for tuning in.